What's up, everybody? Welcome into another new episode of the Rapala Collegiate Bass Podcast. Getting back into the office, back into the swing of things following the AFTCO Collegiate Bass Open, the second stop for the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series this year, the ACA's historic 20th season. The winners of that tournament from top 10 ranked University of North Alabama were Tripp, Berlinsky, and Bryce Dimauro. They're going to be special guests here today on the show. We'll bring them right on in and get it started, man. Bryce, first question your way. Major victory at the college level. 2-day total of 30.96 to get the win. Talk about what it means to you and the team to get that victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, it's been a goal of Tripp and I's for these past 2 years to get a win. And, Tripp and I, honestly, we were pretty unsure going into the tournament how it would all pan out. And, Tripp and I, we were able to get on some decent fish in practice, but we were just unsure about everything. But we put our heads down and we grinded for those 2 days, and we were able to come out with the win. So it really means the world to Tripp and I to finally get this done. And then as a team, it means a lot to the team as well, because we got some really good points for School of the Year points. So hopefully we are able to move up in the standings, because this year as a school, we really want that School of the Year win. We got second last year, and that was kind of bittersweet. So we're coming at them strong this year, and hopefully win that title of School of the Year this year.
We'll talk more about the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia in the second half of this interview, and the points that y'all earned and how your other team did to be able to maximize the double points available there at Lake Dardanelle. Tripp, same question, similar way here. I'll phrase it a little different. For you and Bryce, man, to go out there, it's early in the season, so second major event for the ACA here so far. To get the school year started, you've been in class for about 60 or 90 days. Good start to the school year, to this new season. Talk a little bit about that and the significance for you.
It means a lot. Like Bryce said, we've been after this for 2 years now, and we set a goal last year, and we fell just short at Murray, got second place. So to come out and get this win early in the season, it just gives you some confidence going into the rest of the year, gives you confidence in your ability to go compete against some of these guys, because these are like the best guys in the nation right now. These are going to be the new pros and the next pros. So to compete against these guys, it really means a bunch.
Definitely a very important major accomplishment for you guys. 262 boat field competed there at the AFTCO Collegiate Bass Open, an event record. So to top that major field, comprised of, at the time, what were 21 of the top 25 teams in the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. We'll touch on it more later, too. Coming out of that event, every team ranked in the top 25 for the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia competed at the AFTCO Collegiate Bass Open. So that shows the importance of the tournament, what it meant to these teams going forward. Bryce, let's talk about fishing. Lake Dardanelle, we talked about it on the podcast last week. Matt from Arkansas Tech, he hinted at the possibility that 30-pound bag might win. We had it in an E-Blast last week. The winning weights over the last couple of years averaged somewhere between 24 to 29 pounds. Y'all bested that mark. The fishing was really good. Talk a little bit about the fishing that week and what made it so advantageous for y'all to catch them and win.
Yeah, from our teammates, Tripp and I have never fished Lake Dardanelle, but some of our teammates told us that exactly what you said. In the past years, it's, taken 24, 25, 26 pounds for 2-day totals. And when we got out there and practiced, it showed out. We were able to catch a couple good ones and get on a good pattern. I think that grass, a bunch of the grass started to grow in the lake, and I really think that that helped the fishing a lot. I think it moved all the bait got moved into the grass, and the fish moved with the bait into the grass, and we were able to fish that river grass and catch them that way. And I think that was definitely the key to our success, was that grass that has grown. And that's how we were able to be successful this week.
Definitely a textbook pattern throughout the years at Lake Dardanelle is fishing that cover like you're talking about. I was in school roughly 15 years ago. That was about 2 hours from campus for us, and we'd fish it once or twice every school year, and that was the go-to pattern, whether it was spring, summer, or fall. Get around that grass, and you'd get bites. You might get the winning bites. You might just get a good quantity of bites, but regardless, you were going to catch fish. Awesome to hear the grass coming back and anglers finding success in it. Tripp, you guys, like I said, 2-day total 30.96. Consistency, very key for y'all. Had 15.87 on day one. backed it up with 1509 on day 2. We've seen it through the past. We've seen 19-pound bags on day 1, backed up with just 6 pounds on the second day, and you saw it again this year. Some teams found success on the first day, couldn't do it on the second, vice versa, but yourselves, you were able to make it work on day 1 and day 2. We talked about it on stage at weigh-in, but let's ask the same question. What played into that consistency for y'all to be able to put together 2 15-plus pound bags?
Really, I think it came from all of our practice. We worked our butts off in practice to find as many stretches as we could because we knew it was going to fish very, very small. There was a bunch of boats and there wasn't that much grass, so we just kind of knew that a bunch of that grass could play. We just had to put our heads down and grind our butts off for the 5 bites that we'd get. Whenever we got a bite, it was usually a good fish, so it was worth just sitting there for an hour and just going down the grass line. We had also to keep an open mind. Caught a few on a frog, caught a few on a chatterbait, caught a few throwing a topwater, caught a few throwing a worm as well. So there was just a bunch of stuff that played into it, and just keeping your head down and just fishing the whole day. That really seemed to be the key.
Typical fall fishing, it sounds like, no doubt that's how it can be out there as you're going down. You never know what to have tied on as you go down the bank, and you're looking for bait fish. You're looking for, at some point they're going to turn to crawfish, and the cover changes, and there's a lot of rip-rap, rock, and the grass. And when you dial in a pattern, you can run it, but also at the same time, there's a chance you just need it all ready at one time to get bites. It sounds like that's what y'all did. Bryce, talk some more about the way that the weekend went. Was there any stress at any point where you weren't sure if you're going to have a limit or you lost a big one, or was it really pretty consistent to where you were able to fish free and easy to catch the winning bag?
No, I mean, it was definitely super stressful. Tripp and I, the first day we were able to get 3 key fish pretty quick, but we knew that if we wanted to be in that top spot, we had to catch some bigger fish. And that first day was super stressful. We had a small limit all day, and in the last hour or so, we were able to put a better fish in the bag that got us up to what we got on the first day. And so that whole first day was super stressful because we knew we had good quality fish, and we just had to make something happen out of it. And we were able to put some bigger fish in the boat. And then day 2, super, super stressful. We started off the morning pretty hot. We were able to catch one that was a little bit over 4 inside the grass. But then from then on, we had to be in at 1:30 from about 10 until probably 12:30. We didn't make a single call, and Tripp and I were talking. We're like, man, we got a good bag, but we really need another decent call to make this win happen. And we were able to make a small call at the very end of the tournament. But we honestly, Tripp and I told the camera guy that was on our boat, we were like, we still don't have enough, and we were super stressed out because we were like, man, we didn't make that bigger call at the end of the day. And then we weighed in and we're like, man, we're not going to have enough. But it ended up working out in our favor. We were able to stay consistent and keep our heads down, and we were able to bring out the victory.
Great job by you guys. Definitely great work. There were big bags to be had out there that weekend, as we saw several over 15 on day 1, saw a couple on day 2. We saw one even eclipsing the 19-pound mark on the final day of tournament competition. So you weren't wrong in your logic and your thought process that, man, we need one more good big bite. But it paid off as you guys were able to get the job done. Tripp, final question here before we talk about the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. For first place victory, paid out $1,000 Bass Pro Shops gift card, $1,000 Garmin credit, $500 AFTCO gift card, a Rapala tackle package, 2 pairs of Bahio sunglasses, 2 Turtle Box speakers, and 2 trailer valet hitches, on top of which I believe you guys also claim the ACA logo contingency. No memberships, no entry fees. Come out and compete for a valuable prize package like that. And to win it, let's talk about the value of that.
Man, it means a bunch. Everything that we got was super, super useful. I mean, we're going to be able to put that right back into fishing, so that helps us a bunch. It cuts down on a bunch of money. It means a bunch just for y'all to host these events. It really, really does a bunch for us, being able to keep all of that and just being able to put it back into our fishing.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's why we do it, to give these anglers a chance to go out and compete and continue to make themselves better and achieve the goals that they want to achieve out on the water. We're talking with Tripp Berlinsky and Bryce Dimauro, winners of the AFTCO Collegiate Bass Open, representing top 10 ranked University of North Alabama. We're working out on a points update. It may or may not be out at the time that this is published, but we'll go ahead and talk about it right now. You guys are going to be ranked 7th, moving up one place from the previous update to the current one. Bryce, you guys played a key factor in that. You got the win, earned you 1,750 points towards that Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Your highest placing team was in 9th. For the weekend, UNA earned a total of 3,420 points, the most of any team competing at Lake Dardanelle. That fact right there, talk to it and what that means for the team.
Yeah, and, to get those valuable points for the team and a lot, Carter and Dylan Nutt, they were able to get 9th and bring in those extra points. That was huge for the team. Hopefully, going into Lake Pickwick and Lake Hartwell, we can bump some of those points up. We're able to place well. The team's able to place well and, get some good points. I mean, again, winning School of the Year is definitely our biggest goal. Us as a team, we are super, super fired up this season to, go out and try to compete and get that first place for School of the Year. That's definitely our biggest goal. And hopefully we're able to place well enough and get some good points this year to be able to get that top spot.
Off to a good start, y'all are. University of North Alabama finished last year in 2nd. They're one of 3 teams to have ever won the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia twice this year. If you were able to make it happen and achieve collegiate bass fishing history, you would join Montevallo as the only other team to have ever won 3 titles. So, as we continue to talk about that, the points being earned, Tripp, yourself also, kind of similar question to what I asked Bryce there. But, man, you'll earn the most points of any team competing at the tournament. You contribute as a part of that. The goal going in, obviously, was probably to achieve something along these lines and to actually do it. What does that mean?
It means the world. Like Bryce said earlier, this is our first one, so it means the world. Glad that we could contribute to the team or School of the Year race. There's a bunch of really, really good guys out there. So it's going to be a really tight race, and every point that we can get is going to be super, super valuable. So just to get those this early in the season is super, super nice.
One more question apiece, and we'll wrap it up, guys. Bryce, the rest of the season, you're talking about what April and May would mean as we make it to Pickwick Lake and Lake Hartwell and wrap up here for the ACA and head towards ultimately finalizing the points in that Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. However, that's a long ways away, and there's a bit of a break till our next tournament. In between there, several other major events, school run tournaments, you name it. There's a lot of points on the line before we see everybody again in April. Talk about what's got to happen over the next 6-month stretch for when y'all step foot back on the ACA on that stage to be in first place for UNA. What do y'all have to accomplish over this next stretch?
Yeah, I mean, right now, we're at another tournament right now, so just getting time out on the water. And being prepared for these tournaments is just key as individuals, Tripp and I, and as a team, as in a whole, just being prepared, spending time out on the water, and just, trying to get better every single time you're out on the water. Even in practice or after school when we get out on the water, it's super important to, always try to learn and, so we can go out when the tournament comes around and be better than everyone else. I mean, that's really it. Just putting that time in the water so we can try to compete better is really all we can do. We're really looking forward to that tournament on Lake Pickwick coming up, the next ACA event. I know Tripp and I and the UNA boys are really looking forward to that one. But yeah, just being prepared for these tournaments and putting the time in the water can really mean a lot for getting valuable points.
Last question, Tripp. Tell me, man, when the season's done and the points are all tallied and finalized, if UNA's at the top, what's the emotion going to be like being a part of a team that achieves history in college bass fishing and for your school?
Oh, it's going to be amazing. The group of guys that we have right now is just like no other. We're really, really close, and everybody here can hold their own. So it'd mean a bunch. I mean, I know everybody's looking forward to it, trying to make that top spot, and everybody's working their butts off to do it.
That's going to wrap up our conversation with Tripp, Berlinsky, and Bryce Dimauro, winners of the AFTCO Collegiate Bass Open. They're at Lake Dardanelle in Russellville, Arkansas. A two-day total of 30.96 pounds, earning close to $5,000 total in prizes and contingencies. Great weekend for y'all there. Great victory for the team as well, as they're one to be on the lookout for as they pursue another victory and title in the Bass Pro Shop School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. Guys, thanks again for your time. Safe travels out on the road, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having us.
Welcome to Minnow King. How can I help you?
Everything looks good. I'm friggin' starving, man. Been spawning all morning.
Ugh, TMI, bro. What do you want?
I'll take a Crush City freeloader and gizzard shad.
Anything to drink.
Water.
Pull ahead, please. Welcome to Minnow King.
We're gonna have what he's having.
Yeah, throw me in a Ned BLT, too.
Pull ahead, please.
Calm down. Quit feeding him so much.
Hey, man, I'm trying to, man. If you
If you overfeed him, he's going to hide under a log.